Sure you're ready for that, Mr. Whitman?
Blade delayed for Midnight Suns to pave the way. What is up, Superfam and Brovengers alike? I know there's been a lot of reports lately about Blade basically being canceled.
There's only been one Blade. There's only ever going to be one Blade.
But that is not the case by any means, and we are here to talk about it. Like most of us know, they have basically been having a very hard time trying to find a director for this Blade movie. And of course, people are making assumptions like maybe Mahershala is having a hard time trying to find someone to actually mesh well with, or Marvel is trying to quote-unquote MCU-fy the movie, but I don't think that's the case at all. What's far more likely, and what we can see from old reports, is that
there's only ever going to be one Blade.
They were trying to get a director not just for Blade, but also for Midnight Suns. They wanted the same director for both movies. This is something similar that they were trying to do with Kang Dynasty, originally being the same director that did Shang-Chi, The Legend of the Ten Rings. And there's a lot of reasons for them wanting to do these type of things with these certain movies. I mean, look at what happened with Multiverse of Madness versus WandaVision, right? We don't have the same director, so the vision of what actually is going to go on with Wanda kind of gets diluted, and we have to kind of take some creative liberties along the way to understand what branches the two. One of the many reasons why they wanted the same director to handle these films is because that Blade is supposed to be that Nick Fury type of person for the Midnight Suns. In similar ways how Nick Fury assembled the Avengers, Blade would be assembling the Midnight Suns. And it sounds like he still will be doing that, but it's just going to kind of be a reverse story being told instead. We're going to set up the Midnight Suns first, and then maybe get backstories to how each of these characters became a Midnight Sun. And this is why we've heard that Blade has been delayed, but not Midnight Suns nor Mahershala Ali stepping away from these projects. It's because they're still working in some fashion, just not in the one that we outside of multiple strikes happening at the same time, losing directors back to back and writers. There's another reason why this movie is being delayed. And that's because Blade is not going to be able to effectively have like a defining reason for being within this multiverse saga. With other reports already kind of confirming that we were going to be in the 1900s, or this was going to be a time period piece of some kind, it makes it easy to understand why they didn't want this to be a part of the multiverse in some way. But what could be a part of the multiverse is all of the other characters that are in the Midnight Suns. Once we get into Doomsday and Secret Wars, all of these Battle World-esque stories are going to be going on, and it just doesn't really fit that type of narrative to just have this out-of-place Blade movie with only Blade in it. But having multiversal characters already, and then throwing Ghost Rider in there, throwing Punisher in there that we know we're going to be getting from Daredevil, that works. Remember how we got Captain Marvel movie, and then the Miss Marvel show, and then that all kind of led into the Marvels? Now, think about that, but kind of reversed, into where we get the Midnight Suns movie first, and then we get the Blade movie, and then maybe even a special presentation for Ghost Rider and all these other characters. Team up movie first, and then we get the backstories or origin stories, or maybe not even origin stories and just history lessons from these certain characters. I'm down for whatever, and it sounds like Marvel is trying to make things happen with this movie regardless, and Blade is not canceled, it's just delayed. You gotta pay attention to that wording. Delayed, not canceled. As far as it goes with the history of members, former and current, we have Ghost Rider, Morbius, the Living Vampire, Luis Hastings, Victoria Montesi, Modred the Mystic, Sam Buchanan, and of course some of the current members now, as we know, are Blade, Doctor Strange, Elsa Bloodstone, Dr. Voodoo, Wong, and Moon Knight. Just a quick biography for the Midnight Suns. If you guys want me to do a full breakdown of the Midnight Suns, let me know in the comment section down below. But when the goddess of the underworld herself, Lilith, mother of demons, terrorizes the world, one group of supernatural protectors comes together at Earth's aid, and they are the Midnight Suns, a mysterious group of powerful beings born from an ancient order comprised over 20,000 years ago. Factor takes the stress out of healthy living, providing fresh, ready-prepared meals that support even the busiest of lifestyles, shopping, prepping, cooking, and delivering straight to your door, so you can experience the benefits of clean eating without the hassle. When you're fit, you look great, feel amazing, and have the energy and focus you need. And as an added bonus, there's a team of dietitians always available for extra accountability to help you crush those goals with nutrition coaching programs. No prep, no cooking, just dietitian approved, chef prepared meals delivered to your door and ready to eat in 2 minutes. Pick your pre-made meals, select from a weekly menu of 34 plus dietitian approved meals and 45 plus add-ons that fit your lifestyle. Prepped and cooked to perfection, gourmet chefs take care of the prepping and the cooking so you can do what you need to do. Heat, eat, and enjoy. No prep, no mess, and the meals arrive ready to heat and eat in 2 minutes. Use code FACTOR SE57909 for 50% off plus 20% off your next month. Code is only valid in the United States and the user must order within the first week after creating an account. Go to factor75.com and use my code FACTOR SE57909 to get 50% off your first Factor box and 20% off your next month of orders. That's Factor SE57909 for 50% off on factor75.com. Now let's talk about some of the monsters and monster hunters that we already have in the MCU and how some of these other characters may be able to make their own debut. While Agatha all along is establishing a lot of the magic-y type of things in the MCU, Werewolf by Night already did a solid job of introducing us to the supernatural. Not only did we get introduced to werewolves and vampires, but a whole bunch of other supernatural creatures that have existed eons within the MCU, and the hunters that have went after these monsters as well. Even though the entirety of the Bloodstone Society was taken out in Werewolf by Night, it was still very important to the lore of the MCU as far as it goes supernatural. Wong has a very high probability of showing up, and it's almost inevitable. He showed up in She-Hulk, basically chasing down demons, so I think it's very likely for him to also be a part of this team. Moon Knight was something that I wanted to be more supernatural when watching it. It still had its supernatural ties, but it was very much more rooted in mythology, which doesn't mean it can't be supernatural, but I think you know what I mean. It kind of felt cosmic. It was about gods and entities and things along the lines of that, and it didn't dive into that supernatural stuff that I really wanted it to. And Blade, being the leader of this team, it just seems like that is the icing of the cake, putting all of these crazy supernatural mythic characters together and just kind of seeing what happens. And the Darkhold is still something that matters in the MCU even though we don't have it anymore, right? Like there has to be some ramifications for Scarlet Witch destroying the Darkhold. And the Darkhold is also connected to Ghost Rider in many ways, so there's a lot of entry points for a lot of different supernatural characters. I think that Blade canceled is just a really good clickbaity thing. I might even put it in the thumbnail today. I don't think that Blade is canceled by any means. I mean, you see I've laid out some good amount of evidence that it's probably, not even probably, it's not canceled, it's just delayed. We haven't got a release date on it yet because they don't know where they're going to actually put it, but we do know that they're going to be fast tracking Midnight Suns to be getting made and put out there somewhere, so we could possibly even have some of these characters show up in something like Doomsday or Secret Wars. Let me know how you guys are feeling about this in the comment section down below. Would you rather have Blade introduced first with his own solo movie and then head into Midnight Suns, or
There's only ever going to be one Blade.
it sounds like Marvel is really trying to put quality over quantity, and I don't know about you, but I want a quality Blade movie. Let me know all your thoughts, theories, and questions about this Blade movie or the Midnight Suns. And if you want me to deep dive into any other character, you can always leave a super chat in the comment section down below with the character or the deep dive that you want, and I'll get right on it. I appreciate each and every one of you for tuning in with me today. As I always say, stay awesome, stay nerdy, and don't forget to stay marvelous.
If you guys would like to support Marv Bros, all you gotta do is visit our website at www.marvbros.com and buy some merch. Represent the superfan. Or you can join our Patreon to get early access to content, patron-only scoops, giveaways, private Q&As, and those sacred watch parties. We appreciate you guys. We'll catch you on the next one. Excelsior.
On today's pop culture news update.